She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa.
Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video I am doing a what's in my backpack coming from a soon-to-be senior in college. So I wanted to just sort of show you what I put in my backpack. I'm sure a lot of people put similar things, and I'm sure I have a lot of things that you probably have in yours, but just from someone who's been through 3 years of college, going to their 4th year, is about to graduate this year, I kind of wanted to show you what all I keep in my backpack and what I find is important. So first, this is my backpack. It's just a big black backpack with all kinds of pockets, zippers, everything like that in it. I do keep it pretty organized. Mine's pretty heavy. That's because of my laptop, which I'll get into in a bit, but it is a big, hefty backpack. So I'll start with some of the smaller pockets on the front. So the front has a smaller pocket at the top and then this one at the bottom. So the one at the top is sort of where I keep all of my items, I guess you could say, like not necessarily school items, but like extra things I just want to keep on me. So the first thing in here are my AirPods. I have them in this like pink case that I got from TJ Maxx last year, I want to say. It used to have a clip on it, but I broke that, but it's just a silicone case I keep my AirPods in. I also have a mask in here. My college is still requiring us to wear masks this year, so I have an extra mask in my backpack. I also have chapstick, so you know I am a ride or die Carmex, but this is just a random chapstick that I keep in here. I normally have Carmex on me anyways, so this is just sort of a backup if I really need chapstick. And I also have pepper spray. I know most people on college campuses carry pepper spray, so I keep one in my purse and one in my backpack at all times. And you really never know when you're going to need pepper spray or some sort of defense mechanism. And I feel like I hear a lot of stories on college campuses where pepper spray can come in handy. And I normally also keep gum in this pocket and my student ID. Since it's still summer, I don't keep my student ID in here, I just keep it on me in my purse. And I also don't have gum in here because it is summer and I'm not really using my backpack and I don't want it to melt and get gooey. So those are two other things I normally keep in this top small zipper pocket here. So in this bottom pocket here, it's not that exciting. It's basically just pens and pencils, and I have an insane amount of them, but I have an assortment of different ones. So my go-to pencils are the Bic lead pencils. I use these all throughout high school and I use them like crazy now. And then I got these pens are also Bic. They're these grip pens, and they're ballpoint. They click and then you click them up at the top here to release them. They're just my favorite pens, and I am left-handed, so whenever I write it always smears, and I feel like these don't smear as bad as a lot of other pens that I've used. And I also just keep a black Sharpie and a highlighter just for whatever I need. Okay, next we'll go into like this middle pocket. So on the top here there's like a mid-sized pocket and a bigger pocket. So the mid-sized pocket is probably the least organized out of my entire backpack. It's basically where I throw anything else I could ever possibly need, and I like to always come prepared, hence why my backpack is so extremely heavy. So this is my laptop charger, and actually you see there's a hair tie on here. So normally something that I like to do is wrap my chargers up and then use a hair tie or any cords I have and wrap them back together. I use my laptop charger so often that I just stopped tying it back together, but because I keep all of my other chargers mostly wrapped together, they don't really tend to get intertwined. So then I also have these chargers. They're both the exact same thing, and they're for my calculator. So I have a graphing calculator that you have to charge with a cord, and I thought I'd lost one of the cords, so I ordered another one on Amazon, and then I ended up finding it, so now I just have 2 of these charging cords from my calculator. I keep deodorant in here. Funny story about this deodorant, it actually gives me a rash but I didn't want to necessarily waste it, so I keep it in here as like a backup. If I only use it once or twice, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I did find that this deodorant gives me a rash, so it's basically like I only use it if I really, really, truly need deodorant. I also keep a pack of tissues, so these are just the Kleenex ones. Something you will notice in college, and I definitely noticed this at mine, there's no tissues in the classrooms. There might be now because of COVID. They probably keep some more in there as well as hand sanitizer. But when I first went to college, no one had tissues in their room, and I use tissues so often. So I was always making trips to the bathroom to use like toilet paper to blow my nose. And it's just ridiculous. I was missing so much class, honestly, because I would go and blow my nose every class. And so now I just keep tissues on me. This is also random, but this is an extra laptop battery. My laptop battery does not work that well, and so I ordered a new one on Amazon, and it works okay, but my laptop's just so old that I need to invest in a new one, but I haven't really decided to do that yet, so I just keep an extra battery on me as well. So then here's my two calculators. This one is a graphing calculator I've had since high school. And you can do just regular calculations on it as well as graphing, all that kind of stuff. And my first semester of college, I took an algebra class, and this really came in handy. But I don't really use it anymore, but I just never know when I need it. As a marketing student, you do a lot of math. So I also have this finance calculator I had to get for my finance class, and I just keep that on me as well. If my graphing calculator dies and I need a calculator, this works. And I just think it's important to have a calculator, especially depending on what field you're studying, and I'm studying marketing, so I've had to take some finance, accounting, math classes, things like that you just do need a calculator for. And even in generic marketing classes, you do still have some calculations you need to do, so I just find it helpful to have those on me. So that is everything that's in that pocket. So now we'll go to the big section. Okay, so in the biggest section is where I keep all of my more so academic supplies. So I always keep a notebook. I always use one, and then I label the inside what semester it was for. So like example, this one's gonna be for fall 2021 semester. And I just keep all of my notes in this. The way I organize them is that I just label each time at the top of what class it's for and the date. And that's just kind of how I keep my notes organized. And I'm also not a binder girl, I'm more of a folder girl. So I take 5 classes a semester, so I have 5 different folders that I keep all of my papers and extra loose leaf things in for each class. So each semester I basically designate a color to a class, and that's how I keep my classes organized. I've tried binders, and even in high school I just couldn't stand using binders, and I felt that I was less organized using a binder, which doesn't really make sense, but that's just kind of how my thinking was. So I found the folder system actually works really well for me, especially to color code everything. That helps me stay more organized. And then something else I normally keep in here, I don't have it in here right now because I use it so often. I have just like a smaller notebook. It's not like a planner or agenda, it's just a smaller notebook. And that is what I call the notebook of everything. I am not good at using a planner or an agenda, so I carry this notebook around. I write down anything that I could ever possibly need to remember that's not necessarily like class notes, even homework, things like that. I write down in it, and then I go back to my apartment and I color code my entire calendar. So I have one of those giant calendars that you hang up like on your wall, and it has each date and everything on it, and that's how I keep track of my assignments and everything. I've just never found that I can use a planner or an agenda and really stick with it. So I color code the calendar, and that's what helps to keep me organized, and it works way better for me than a planner ever did. So I'll just write down anything I can't remember in this smaller notebook, and it is full of all kinds of random thoughts, notes, assignments, things like that. And then I just transfer it over to my calendar back in my apartment. The last thing in this section is my laptop. So this has sort of been a joke between me and my roommates. We call it a TV because it is an excessively big laptop. I think it's a 17.5-inch screen, and I wanted a big laptop. One of the things that I'm really picky about is the keyboard numbers, and I hate the ones that go straight across the top. I like the ones on the side that are like their own separate keyboard. And so that's why I picked out this laptop. Unfortunately, I'm looking like I'm going to have to buy a new one soon. This one I actually bought right before I went into college, so it's been perfect for my 3 years so far and for my 4th year of college coming up. But after that, I am going to have to purchase a new one, so I might have to sacrifice the side keyboard in order to get one that I want. But this is my laptop. It's an HP. I'm not sure the model, but I do love this one. If you want one that is not an Apple, I do recommend this laptop. But yes, it is very large, and that's what makes my backpack so heavy, is because it's such a big laptop. It really weighs down my backpack, which is unfortunate, but I also bought a backpack that was big enough to fit this, so that also adds to the weight of it. So lastly, my backpack has these side pockets. One I keep empty to put my Yeti in that I carry to class. I always have a water bottle with me. And then the other side, I have an umbrella, so it's just a mini umbrella. It's cheetah print, it's the Totes brand, and it's a lot smaller than a regular umbrella, which helps to save size. But I do have to say that this is probably one of the most useless things I've ever taken to college, but yet I take it with me every year. It is so important to have a rain jacket, and you're more likely to wear a rain jacket. When you walk around a college campus, at least like mine, no one is ever using an umbrella. They're always wearing rain jackets, and you always sort of conform to what your campus is doing. So if I don't see anyone else using an umbrella, I don't use this, but I always wear my rain jacket. So it's much more important to have a rain jacket than an umbrella, but yet I still carry it with me. I do use it once in a while, I will say, especially if it's like downpouring and you still have to go to class. So I do keep my umbrella on me, but I gotta say it's probably one of the most useless things I've ever taken to college. So that is everything. Here's my backpack. I got this off of Amazon, and like I said, it's just a big backpack that's black. It's got all those pockets and everything. I did order this off of Amazon my freshman year, I believe. It was around $40, so it wasn't too bad, but it has lasted me every year of college. And once I move into a job, I will just probably continue using this until something happens. So that is everything for my what's in my backpack as a soon-to-be senior in college. If you have any suggestions on anything that you think you need to keep in a backpack, comment them down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa.